Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings. Everton 0, Manchester City 3. A utterly professional performance by Manchester City to take the game away from Everton. If there was ever a game to take away from us, we started all right, huffed and puffed a little bit, and then I created a couple of half chances through sheer determination and endeavour. But Manchester City do what Manchester City do, and they keep turning the screw until something gives, and they found that today with two very, very quick goals. Both of them disappointing, because defensively, if you watch them, they are disappointing. It was a strange one because they set up. It was almost like it wasn't almost. Pep Guardiola had obviously looked at the situation and thought Everton don't score many goals at home, and they basically just stuck Gundogan up front and went with two forwards and left very little at the back. If anything, a couple of centre-backs. And it gave them a lot more options, and players didn't know when to come or where to go. And both goals, the person who scores just gets in between the centre-back and the full-back. And, for the first one, it's a cross from our left-hand side, and no one even tries to stop the cross, which is really, really sad. That no one's trying to force. You look at the cross, it's not even... There's a spare man, but it's no one stops the cross, and the play gets in between Patterson, and I think it might have been Tarkowski, and takes it on his knee and swivels and scores. Great finish, to be honest. And the second goal, it's a long ball. They win the second ball. Gundogan puts a great cross in, and the great positioning from Haaland, gets on the shoulder of Holgate and headers it back across goal to get the second. And again, the third goal is James Garner takes out Foden, and it's a great free kick. So, and we didn't really, as I said, we didn't really trouble them, because we didn't really try and trouble them. We certainly weren't playing like we were last week. It's that thing of like whether you stick or you twist. We're either going to maybe win 1-0 today or get beat heavily. So they're different, aren't they? They are unbelievable. You've seen that from the subs they brought on. The subs are incredible. And yeah. We didn't play like we played last week, because it's a different kind of game, but it was what it was. It was always going to be one of those games. I think we built again that thing of building it up in your own mind that we were going to get something out of it, because we beat Brighton 5-1. As I said on my other video, if you told me we were going to get 3 points out of those two games, I'd have bit your hand off for those 3 points. So yeah, it was just one of those, wasn't it? It just feels like it took the wind out of our sails a little bit. But listen, if Liverpool do the job tomorrow, then going into the final two games against sides that were on the beach, that it means a lot more to us than that's all you could have asked for. If we're not in the bottom three at the beginning of next week, then that's exactly where I would have wanted to have been going into the two games. Simple as that, really. Simple as that. Let's get into the player ratings. Jordan Pickford. I didn't see it, but I believe Roy Keane basically tore a strip off him. Said he doesn't command the box or anything like that. Well, I mean, we saw last week how good he is. The second goal, could he have done better? I don't think so. Bullet header from Haaland. The free kick, it's a wonderful free kick. I don't know whether he could have done any better. I thought his kicking was a little bit off today. Yeah, and I don't know. Not a goalkeeper, but I don't know. The free kick, people look at it, and some people will think it's a wonder goal. Some people will think it's bad goalkeeping. I don't know. But his kicking was a little bit off for me, so I've given him a 6. Nathan Patterson, tough day for Patterson, because both goals in a way have been, the first one, it comes down the other side, and it's Gundogan's got in between him and the centre back, and then the second goal, he actually deals with the long ball, and then Gundogan picks the ball up and runs with it and crosses it, and it's like he has to deal with it twice. But I thought he was okay. I thought second half he actually gives a little bit of offensive, showed a bit of offensive side of his game. Put in one great cross that Maupay didn't really look at, to be honest, but it was a great ball in. It's always difficult. He did get up and down the pitch. His heat map shows that he got up and down the pitch, and actually, it's quite strong at the opposite end of the pitch. So, I still think defensively he's still got a lot to learn, and he has got a lot to learn. I have to stress this every week. He has got a lot to learn. He has not played a lot of football, this lad, at the highest level. So I think he's still got plenty to come, and that'll take games. I think this is one of those players that there's something about him, and we have to persist with him, and make sure that he has a lot of games. But a tough game to him. I've given him a 6. Against the quality that they had, I thought he did okay, to be honest. On the other side, Mason Holgate, tough game for Mason Holgate. He's come in, for a cup for obviously the Palace game when he got sent off, and being put in today. No Mykhalenko, the backup for Nagri, who haven't been used anyway. He's out for the rest of the season, and he's been preferred there, and it was a tough day for him. And in a way, I felt like he'd been hung out to dry a little bit today, because just playing in that position, playing left back, we had 2 goalkeepers on the bench today. That says it all, doesn't it? But there's no Ben Godfrey on the bench. Reece Welsh is on the bench. You look at the bench, there's literally no one else who could have played there today. And I did feel sorry for him. Mahrez just destroyed him, to be honest. And I'd like to have seen a little bit more help and a little bit more support. I said, if you watch that first goal, no one really tries to block the cross. He gets doubled up on so much during the game that I actually felt a little bit sorry for him. But he was really poor, though. I mean, that has to be said. He was really poor in the game. And obviously he's ended up being sub, and that's why I felt I did, because he's not a left back. And it was just a really bad day for him. But as I said, I thought he was thrown in at the deep end today. So I've given Mason Holgate a 3.5, 3.5. Yeremina. Well, he spent most of the day just trying to fight with Haaland and put Haaland off his stride. Won 2 of his 4 aerial battles, certainly not the one where he scored from, and 2 of his 3 aerial ground duels. Again, don't think you can say he didn't go. You can't look at him and go, "Oh, he had a bad game." I don't think he had a bad game. I just think that the way they played, and they had the connect. They played with 2 up front, and they get the wide men involved, and he was up against formidable opposition there in Haaland today. If not the best striker in the world. He tried to put him off his stride, didn't quite work, but I've given him a 6. James Tarkowski. It's funny when you look at James Tarkowski's heat map. He's a large chunk of it is right over on the left-hand side. Obviously, getting out there to try and help with the covering. Don't think he had a particularly terrible game, but I don't think they didn't make it comfortable for him at all. So I've given him a 6 as well. Trissagana Gay. Got subbed after 56 minutes. Only touched the ball 20 times today. A lot of his work was to just try and block the passing lanes and break up play if he could. 3 tackles, 1 interception. Ground duels won 3 out of 3. Aerial duels 1 out of 2. Lost possession twice. So again, it's hard to like Mason Holgate was like, he did have a bad game, and as I said, I think there's reasons for that. But you look at a lot of the other players, and it's not. They're all trying to do the job up against absolutely world-class footballers, and then the subs come on and they're all world-class. So Latisagana gave him a 6.5 today. Went off probably just to save his own legs. But again, it's that thing of just doing the job he's been given. James Garner, give away the foul for the 3rd goal. Couldn't get near Foden, to be honest. He had 37 touches, so nearly double or as many as Latisagana gave. He is someone who's supposed to get on the ball and try and do something with it. But if you haven't got any movement in front of you, or the wide players are not creating anything for you, it's really difficult. And then you end up just being another midfielder. Just trying to do your job. He's a weird one, Garner, because he's a nice, neat and tidy footballer, but I don't know how much else he's got. It's difficult to see in this team. We don't have a lot of runners. We don't have a lot of intricate play. He's someone, to me, who's like a little quarterback player, gets the ball in deep areas and tries to move it around the pitch. I just don't see that. You don't see that with this team. He is very, very nice, neat and tidy player, and he does the hard work as well. Ground duels today, won 5 out of 6. He's got a little bit of everything. But it's difficult in this team when the team isn't maybe set up to play the style he plays. So I've give him a 6.5. The Corey, his touch just let him down so many times today. There was one, I think it was in the second half, where we were breaking forward, and it looked like he was gonna break forward for it, but it was where I was sitting. It was almost like an optical illusion because he'd already lost the ball. But his touch let him down so many times today, and because City are on you straight away, they're on you like flies. You just can't get away from that. And that's the one thing that lets him down, is his touch. It really is. It really can be poor in tight situations. He didn't really offer too much of a threat going forward today. Helping out Dominic Calvert-Lewin. His touch was poor. It really was. I've given 5.5. And I think the other two going forward as well were a little bit like that as well. Alex Iwobi, again, that final ball, that final touch. And I also think the 2 wide men could have done more to help out the fullbacks today, like they did last week. But they're not in the game. These are the games where you look at like Iwobi, and I'll come on to Dwight McNeil. These are the games where you just need that something, and I don't think we've quite got it. Alex Iwobi, possession lost 8 times, but that again is where it all comes down to where in the pitch he does lose it. A lot, it's heat map suggests he's on the edge of the box a lot, but there's just no final ball from him. But again, City, they just make it so hard for you. They really do. They make it so hard for you to try and create anything. And because we isolated Dominic Calvert-Lewin, it's tough. It is tough. Alex Iwobi, I've given him a 5.5. Dwight McNeil, again, worked really hard. Got us out of the crap on one occasion by making a great covering run, getting back and stopping them from breaking. Again, no lack of effort. Touched the ball 66 times. That's a lot more than Iwobi. It's a lot more. That's probably one of the highest in the team. Again, though, it's again, I talk about it every week. It's great. It's great, the defensive side of the thing, but what are they doing offensively? But he's up and down that left hand side. Like McNeil can't, he does his best to protect the fullback. And I said last week that was one of the big things last week. Dribble attempts today, 3 out of 5 successful. So that's really good. But no shots. No shots on target, no shots off target. Why isn't he getting into areas where he can take more shots? Is that because of the defensive side of what he's doing? But again, very consistent performance the last few weeks, Dwight McNeil. I did think that there was times where he needed to help Holgate out just a little bit more. And certainly for the first goal they scored, we could have been a lot tighter in that area. But I'll give it Dwight McNeil 6.75 today. I thought, he didn't stop all game. Tireless, to be fair to him. Dominic Calvert-Lewin went off at half time. The talk is, the manager said it's a tight groin and they don't want to take any risks. He said that after the Arsenal game. 11 weeks later, he came back. I thought Dom played well first half. I thought he played well. Every time we give him the ball, he was trying to create space. He was trying to move the ball. He was trying to open him up. He was keeping the ball really well. I mean, he only touched the ball 12 times. But every time he got it, he seemed to be able to create something. Just even running into space, not letting them have free reign, making sure we got a throw in from it. And he looked sharp. I thought they took him at half time because we were 2-0 down, I think, and the manager might have thought, this is done. But I don't know. I'm if he's not back for next week, that is very worrying. Very, very worrying, because we're a different team. We're a completely different team with him and without him. So that's a real worry. Because Mopai came on and he was... Mopai just wants to go short for everything. And it's not the way we play. Because no one runs into the space. And again, Neil Mopai is just the wrong player. Completely wrong player. Whether you think he's good, bad, whatever. He's just a wrong player for this team. He wants to spin. He wants to come short. Take the ball. No one gives him to him short. So then when he comes short, there's a big space behind him. And it allows their centre-backs to just step up. Because no one runs into the space. Again, the manager prefers Mopai to Sims. That's up to him. But Mopai is, as soon as the season's finished, get rid of him. Move him on. He does not suit this team. And it's bad for him as well, because he scored 1 goal all season and he just comes short. We're not the team. We're not set up to play like that. And it's just... it's pointless. It's pointless for him. It's pointless for us. So, very poor signing. It hasn't worked. He's played a lot more than he should have. And he has to go somewhere that suits his style, because Everton does not suit his style. He just didn't do anything, did he? Second half, really. He was just... He had a shot on target. But he had 11 touches of the ball. Which is hard. It's hard when you're a centre forward. It's hard when you're a centre forward and you're not touching the ball and you're not in the game and people are not playing to your strengths. Just get rid of him. Just get rid of him. I've given him a 4. Connor Cody came on. We went to a 3. We went to wing backs. He was all right. He was okay. Played for 35 minutes. He was okay. City took the foot off the brake, didn't he? So, put the foot on the brake. Sorry. The last half an hour. So he didn't have loads to deal with. Give him a 6. He didn't have loads to deal with. Onana came on again last 35 minutes. And actually, when we did change the shape, we did have a nice little spell for about 15 minutes where we were getting on the ball and we were creating things and we were trying to go forward. Maybe if we'd had Dom on the pitch, we could have created more. And it did change. It did just give them something different to think about. Again, he was all right. 31 touches. Didn't have any ground duels, didn't have any aerial duels, so he kept way out of the defensive side of things. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because there's a lot of talk about Onana leaving and going here or there for 70 million. And when you watch him at times, you do just think he's definitely having a settling in season in the Premier League, and then so he'll go somewhere and people will go, where did this player come from? Yeah, Onana, 5.5 for Onana. And Demarai Gray came on, dribbled around a bit. Yeah. He gets on the ball and people are asking for it and he just does his own thing and then realises that he's not going anywhere, turns around and goes back. And it's just like, no, if you just give the pass to Patterson, we could have got in the back. But he's just such a selfish player. And it hardly ever comes to anything. He's a weird player because he's obviously got talent, but he's not willing. I don't think he's willing to put the hard work in to unlock it or find that consistency. I'll give Demarai Gray a 5. There you go. Difficult one because it's always difficult scoring when you're scoring a team when you're playing such an amazing side because they're just such a good side. You know, they've brought in the likes of Mahrez and Foden, Alvarez. You know, leaving out Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't even get on the pitch. They're just such a good side. The right back is basically playing right wing for the entire game. And they were in that. They're in that real. They're in that real sort of thing now, aren't they? The end of season thing that they get in every season. And you look at them today and you think they'll win everything because they've just got the balance on and off the pitch. They're just unbelievable. So it's always hard, as I said, scoring because no one, like as I said, the only Holgate was the only one who was like, you go, oh, he was bad, and that's because he's playing out of position. But everyone else, you just go, couldn't get near the play they were near, and that's how it is some days. That's how it is. There's no point ranting and raving about it. Just have got to move on to the next week and hope that Michalenko and Dominic Calvert-Lewin are fit. So we've got a fully strength, balanced football team for next week. And that's all you can hope for. That is all you can hope for. That next week we've got our team and we go on to it with as strong as we can. One thing I did miss out before was Mason Holgate. That miss just before, like it was 2 minutes before they scored. That opportunity. Just small margins in games. Just small margins. But there you go. I said I couldn't ever sit here and go and have a go at anyone after that, really. I haven't got the energy. Playing them, they're unbelievable. There you go. As I said, let's hope Dom's back, Michalenko's back, we get a balanced team and we take on Wolves and we do something similar that we did down at Brighton. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to check out my guys' reaction if you haven't already. And what was great today was the reaction of the ground at Gladys Street at the end of the game, singing and cheering for the players. That's what it's all about, isn't it? At this stage, what wasn't great was that stupid thing with the security guards on the pitch. That was ridiculous. There you go. Make sure to check out my videos. Make sure to check out Baz's videos. We'll be doing the final word tomorrow over on Toffee TV Premier. If you want to join us, the link is in the description. And the QR code is coming up on the screen in just a second. See you later.